Things to know about brushes from Wits End Art Studio. A brush has three parts. It's got a handle, it's got the ferrule, and it's got the bristles. The ferrule is the part that connects the handle to the bristles.
Number 2 is brush sizes. Now the size of the brush is written on the handle and you can see it until the handle's covered in paint. The length of the handle depends on how much control you need. So if you need a lot of control, you'll hold close to the end of a short handle. If you want to stand back and be really flamboyant, then you would use a long-handled brush and you would hold it towards the end of the brush. That keeps you nice and loose and free. Brush sizes go from, let's say 000 most commonly, up to 12, but really 40, 50. Some brushes are just enormous.
The bristles on the brush are a little bit like the fuel tank. Obviously, the bigger amount of bristles you've got, the more fuel and more paint you can hold. And the longer they are, the longer the mark it can make.
Number 3 is people say, what brush should I use? We generally work from the background first and block in our biggest areas. That would be a job for our biggest brushes. The bigger the area, the bigger the brush. Often a flat brush will be used to block in all your underpainting when you start, and sometimes flat brushes are known as background brushes.
Okay, there's a variety of ways you can use any brush to make marks. You can use them on the front or on the side. In the case of a square-ended brush, you can make really thin lines by using it just the other way around.
Of course, you can use a brush wet and just smooch the paint around.
Of course, you can also use the brush really, really dry and work with not very much paint, like when we're painting clouds.
Or you could use lots and lots of paint. Just be aware that if you've got a big blob on the end of your paintbrush, you're going to get a big blob on your painting. The other thing is how much pressure you apply to the brush.
Basically, the rule of thumb is to pick the brush you think you need and go a size smaller, and also to pick a brush that looks like the shape you're trying to make. Are you trying to paint a long line? You need a brush that looks like a long line. Are you trying to paint something round? Choose a round brush. Clean, sharp edge? Get a square-ended brush.
6 is the question, are expensive brushes better? Well, how long they last depends on how you use them and how you look after them.
What are some brush care tips for acrylic painters?
Okay, when you're giving your brush a bit of a clean, just gently sweep the bottom of your water container. Don't stab your brush to death.
Don't leave your brushes standing on their ends. If they're standing on their end in water, they will bend, particularly your liner brushes. Also, if you leave them in, the handle will swell up, the ferrule will rust, and all your bristles will drop out.
And you don't want your bristles to drop out.
No, you don't.
No. Now, don't let paint dry on your brushes. Your brush will be as useful as a stick, which is not totally useless, but very close to it.
Make sure you wash and rinse them properly and dry them flat so they keep their shape. If you have any other questions about brushes, or if you'd like a video or advice on caring for oil paint brushes, leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you haven't already, and switch on your notifications, and we'll catch you in our next video. Thanks for watching.